Hi, this is James Gardner, the CineTechGeek at NAB 2019. I'm here with Chad from OpenDrives. Now we're talking to Chad today because obviously this year there's a lot of talk of 8K and higher bit rates and people working together, and Chad and OpenDrives has a unique solution that's a little bit different to the others, and we thought we'd come and talk to him today to see how they achieve what is the fastest bitrate network workflow. So can you tell us about that, please?
Sure, thanks James, I appreciate the opportunity. OpenDrives was designed and developed specifically for high resolution video workflows, 4K, 6K, 8K, and HDR, HFR. Every time there's a technical evolution in terms of content capture, there's a corresponding need for storage and networking and other components to be able to deliver enough performance for that real-time workflow to take place. And so OpenDrives differentiates itself in how our software platform, Atlas, reads and writes data. So rather than throwing hardware at the problem, we've taken a different approach by enabling software to predictively, intelligently, and adaptively predetermine which files are most likely to be accessed in a read request by a workstation or a user group, and then delivering them to them faster than the competition.
And one of the things I spoke to you beforehand about the qualities I like about OpenDrive is that it's a custom format, but it has some ZFS similarities.
Sure.
And one of those is the fact that you can take snapshots.
Absolutely, and so that's a really important, snapshotting is an important feature because copying that data set over and over and over again in its entirety not only takes up more capacity than they should, but it also slows down the process. So being able to take those snapshots and replicate them either on-prem or into the cloud or off-prem.
One of the reasons I think that's so important is that because security and being hacked and everything is something that's on our radar a lot more these days. If you're taking a snapshot every hour and somehow something gets in and starts to rip apart your data or anything like that, you're just a snapshot away from pulling it back simply as that.
Absolutely, and in addition to security, there's also things like user error, right? I know I've done that. I've deleted a file I didn't mean to, right? And then so having that ability to go back in time, and our snapshotting feature allows you to go back to a point in time or a specific directory or even a specific file. So if there's a throwaway shot that you actually want back, you can go back and retrieve it.
And just let me make it straight here. So snapshotting is not typically been very common on these high performance type file systems, so that's why we're talking about it in its uniqueness. But let's move on to the fact that another interesting aspect of your technology is it still uses just typical network shared technologies. Right. We're not putting custom stuff in here, right?
Correct.
So tell us about that.
Well, and we think that that's one of the challenges whenever you have a custom technology offering that requires the user to do things that are very specific, right? A client-side software or a proprietary format or something that doesn't interoperate with the other parts of their IT infrastructure, you're really limiting the scale and the growth that customer, and you're putting an additional burden on that IT team.
Yes.
So we don't believe that that's a sensible approach. And so instead, when it comes to NFS, SMB, the standard protocols, no client-side software, we take the heavy lifting and burden of all of that difficulty in terms of processing and put it on ourselves so that the customer doesn't have to.
All right, fantastic. Thank you very much. Very interesting new technology here for doing workflows for shared environments. So please give it a look. And yes, thank you, Chad.
Thank you, James.
This is James Gardner at NAB 2019. Bye for now.